Did you know that the worker bee lives up to 40 days and doesn't have a single day off?
You mean not a single weekend to watch TV or mountain hike? In that case, in the future I want to be a queen. Then I won't have to do anything. Nothing!
Yeah.
That's right. I just have to find a prince. And when he becomes king, I'll be his queen. And I'm going to be 200 years old before all this happens. Why can't you just be born as a queen?
You know what? Sometimes you can.
I'm ready! Please tell me how to become a queen.
Let's start from the beginning. Do you know who is a part of a bee family?
Bees?
Definitely. A bee family is called a swarm. The average swarm is about 30 or even 60,000 bees. It's about as many beans as you can feed in this large jar.
Wow! That's a huge family!
Yes, and not every bee in a swarm is the same. This is because each bee has its own and important role. Mostly, they are worker bees. Girl bees that always have a lot of their minds and take care of the whole hive.
And the boys? What do boys do?
Male bees are called drones. There are few of them, but they are also a very important part of the family. Unlike their sisters, they do not have many responsibilities.
In that case, is the hive ruled by a king or queen?
In the past, it was believed that the king ruled the hive. However, people who for years have been interested in bees have discovered that the most beautiful, largest, and most important of all bees is the queen.
I knew it!
The queen bee is very different from the rest of the bees. She's almost twice as big as the rest and can live up to 6 years, which is a lot, considering that her worker daughters live only 40 days. So, the queen bee lives about 50 times longer than the rest of the bees. It is as if human lived for 1,000 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
Did you know that the queen bee is born from the same egg as a worker bee?
How come? Is that even possible?
Do you know the saying, that you are what you eat?
Yes, but if that's the case, I would have been a big bar of chocolate long time ago.
You see, here is the secret of the queen. Now listen carefully. For the first 3 days of being a tiny larva, every bee is fed with royal jelly. Later, it's regular mix of pollen and honey. But among the little worker bees, we choose a few that will be fed only with royal jelly all the time. Thanks to royal jelly, the little queens grow bigger, more beautiful, and they are the only one from the hive that can lay eggs from which the future worker bees will emerge.
Royal jelly sounds great. But what is it actually?
Royal jelly is a special substance that young bees produce in their throats. It is a white jelly that has a lot of different nutrients and vitamins. No wonder Queen Bee is so perfect, since it's fed with it all her life.
So you are saying that one tiny bee eats royal jelly and then becomes the queen of the hive?
Not really. When the young queen is ready, she must fight a stinging battle with other candidates.
But how come? Are there more queens?
Yes, Kala. Bees are very clever creatures. When they breed a new queen, they need to make sure she's the best of the best. That's why the last step on the way to the bee throne is a sting competition.
It's like a battle of thrones! Awesome! And then the best part begins, which is doing nothing.
Unfortunately, the queen's life is not paved with pollen. That's when the hard work really begins.
But how come? She's the queen,
So she has to maintain the stability of the colony. In the hive, the queen bee is also called mother, and not without a reason. The queen's main duty is to lay eggs. Once in her lifetime, the queen bee flies out of the hive for a date with the drones. Then she returns to the hive to lay eggs. The eggs from which the future worker bees will emerge. Mother bee has a lot of work. She can lay as many as 3,000 eggs a day. That is one egg every 15 seconds.
That's a lot of eggs. Does the queen even have time for lunch?
The queen bee is so busy that the worker bees have to feed her. Do you remember how long bee lives?
40 days. Really short.
That's why the work of the mother queen is very important. It's crucial for her to lay new eggs so the new bees are hatched all the time to replace the bees that pass away. The number of bees can't decrease in the hive because bees' work never stops.
Oh dear, I didn't know the queen bee is so busy. I always thought being a queen was the coolest thing in the world. Sleeping all day, watching TV, and eating chocolate or relaxing at the spa.
As for the spa, you are exactly right.
A spa? In the hive? I don't understand.
Worker bees know that the queen does a lot of hard work. That's why bees often organize a bee spa for her. For example, by massaging her wings with their bee feet. They really take care of their mother.
What if the queen was not there?
Queen job is not only to lay eggs. The smell of the queen is very important. It tells the rest of the bees mommy is home. It also gives everyone in the family a sense of security and encourages them to work. It's like in our homes. How many times when we hear mom on the stairs, we immediately forget about being lazy and start working on our homework?
Or when we walk into the house after a long day at school and smell mom's cheesecake that was just baked. It feels better right away. How can we know that the queen is in the hive?
You need to look for a bee that is twice as big as the others, doesn't have pollen baskets on its hind legs for collecting pollen, has less fur on its back so it's more shiny, and most of all, has a crown.
Now you must be joking. In a hive, a bee in a crown?
Yes, it's not that easy for a beekeeper to find the queen among thousands of other bees. Each bee queen gets a special crown that is like a colored sticker. Its color tells the beekeeper what the year the queen was born.
Now, when I meet a bee in my garden with a crown, I'll feel really special. After all, she doesn't often fly out of the hive, and it's her Majesty Mother Bee herself.
And you still want to be queen?
No, probably not anymore. But I would love to help bees. They are really amazing creatures.
So, maybe instead of becoming a queen, you could become a beekeeper?
Great idea! How do I become a beekeeper? When can I start? And what do I need?
First, you need to learn more about bees and their habits. But let's start with the most important thing, a good breakfast. A good beekeeper cannot go to the apiary with an empty stomach.
Okay, let's start with your yummy basics of being a beekeeper. And will there be a waffle with honey? I feel like I was born to work in an apiary.